Okay, so we will start off laying on our backs. And begin with your knees bent. Allow the heaviness of your bones to ground you down. Connect you to the earth. And if it's comfortable to extend the heels away from the crown of the head, you can do that. If that causes any discomfort in the lower back, keep the knees bent. Take the feet wide and let the knees fall together. Bring your awareness to the breath. And take a moment before we get moving to check in with yourself. Notice the quality of the breath. Observe if your chest feels tight or open. If the breath is short or long. If the inhales or the exhales bear more weight. And begin to intentionally deepen the breath. Bring your awareness to the diaphragm, that muscle right below the ribs. And as you inhale, feel it expand downward. And as you exhale, feel it soften back and spread wide. Take the awareness past the diaphragm all the way down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale, completely sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Have a few more breaths just like that. Breathing the awareness back down into the body. And as you exhale, connecting to that universal blueprint for optimal alignment. Bones and joints stacked in the back body plane. And remember that if there is a lot of arching in the lower back and it's uncomfortable to extend your legs, you can always bend them. Remembering that this is a practice of listening to your body, not just enduring suffering, right? And then we'll do a quick scan through the physical body from the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. Inhale and pull the awareness up through the legs, into the pelvis, the hips, the low back. Notice any areas of tension, soreness, general discomfort, and use the breath to go there. The inhales gently open and expand those areas. As you exhale, completely allow tension to leave the body with the breath. The next inhale pulls your awareness up the torso, into the shoulders, the neck, and the face. Again, noticing where in the upper body you're holding tension today. Using the breath to bring the awareness there. As you inhale, you create space, inviting fresh blood and oxygen to flow through those areas. And as you exhale completely, continuing the conversation of consciously asking the body to soften, release, and let go. Lastly, check in with the mind. Notice where your thoughts are at. Notice the speed at which they're moving through you. Allow yourself to step back from identifying as the thoughts and witness their passing. through the mind like clouds through the sky, without getting attached and carried away, without judging yourself for what you're thinking about, but just beginning to notice the habits and patterns in the way the mind turns, in the way that you speak to yourself. And then bring the awareness back and anchored fully on the breath. Have a few more of those deep, long breaths down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale, soften back, spread wide across the floor. Today, because it's my birthday, we're gonna do a lot of just my favorite things, beginning with stretching the legs. If you happen to have like a strap or a belt, a dog leash, a scarf, something to just make it more accessible, you can place the strap around the upper arch and the lower ball of your right foot as you extend the right leg up. You can also take yogi toe lock, peace fingers around that right big toe, or just interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Whatever choice you make, we're pressing out through both heels and rooting both thigh bones down. The left thigh bone presses firmly towards the floor, and the right thigh bone presses into the hands or away from the crown of the head. This is a really important action that lengthens the lower back and aligns the pelvis. Keep maintaining that, draw the leg more actively towards yourself. And have a few more deep, long breaths. Making sure that the head and shoulders are relaxed and softened back towards the floor. If the head is like lifted and straightened, you might want to put a pillow or a blanket under your head. Breathe into the places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, see where you can soften. With your next exhale, we're gonna take that right leg out to the right side. And again, you can be holding onto your strap, holding onto the big toe, or just supporting the right leg, the right leg with the right hand in any way that feels good to you. Press through both heels and then the balls of both feet. Still hugging the whole midline of that left leg towards the floor and rooting the right thigh bone down away from the crown of your head, creating balance and evenness in the grounding of the pelvis. As you exhale, soften the abdomen back and turn it back to the left. So you're looking to ground the back body evenly. And lastly, you're gonna shift your gaze over your left fingertips. Beware of the tendency to just drop your chin to your shoulder. We wanna have lengthened space on all sides of the neck and throat. So you might need to slide your jawbone back. The chin is parallel to the left arm. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathing into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, softening more deeply into the stretch. With an inhale, bring that right leg back up to center. Reconnect and recommit to the activation of the legs. Press through the heels and the balls of the feet. Feeling how each of those actions has a different effect on the muscles of the legs. Root your thigh bones down, and then gently take that right leg across the left side body. Good. And you can, switch hands. There we go. That was why that was weird. So you want to keep your left toes flexed and active, pointing up. Keep that left inner thigh bone rooting down. As you take that right leg across to the left side, outer right hip rooting down towards the left heel. Abdomen softens back into the right here. And then we shift our gaze over the right fingertips, maybe sliding the jawbone back, chin parallel to the arm. Lengthen space on all sides of the neck and throat. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And if you can't touch your foot right now, you can do it unsupported. You can also play with bending your knee if that feels better to you. Again, remembering that this is your time on your mat, your practice of listening to your body. With an inhale back up to center with that leg, and exhale, lower the leg to the mat. You can shimmy out the hips a little bit. Pause to feel the effects of that stretch. I'm always surprised that my right leg now feels like 3 inches longer than my left. And then moving to cultivate balance, inhale, take the left leg in. Taking whatever variation you took on the other side, maybe interlacing the hands behind the thigh. Maybe you have a strap around the upper arch and the lower ball of the foot. Maybe you can reach your big toe with your peace fingers. Then press through both heels to lengthen the back of your legs. And press through the balls of the feet to draw the calf muscle into the bone. Engage the quadricep by pressing the thigh bone away from you. As you press the right thigh bone towards the floor, opening up through that right hip flexor. Draw the leg more actively towards yourself, finding that softness in the face, the shoulders, the arms. And have 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathing into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, finding the softness. Good. So if you have a strap, you're taking the strap into the left hand. If you're interlacing the hands behind your thigh, you're releasing the right arm. Press the whole right side body firmly down as you take that left leg out to the left side. Pressing through both heels and the balls of both feet. Right thigh bone, back of the right knee, hugging towards the floor. Left thigh bone pressing away from the crown, making space in the lower back on the left side. As you press out through the left heel, the abdomen softens back and turns to the right. Extend the right arm out and shift your gaze over that right fingertips. Lifting the chin parallel to the arm, slide the jawbone back, and as you stretch through the fingertips, maybe you feel a stretch in the upper arm. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Remembering that we don't want to just collapse and open the leg, but we want to keep engagement and maintain that balance and evenness in the grounding of the back body. With an inhale, return to center. Take the strap in the other hand or the big toe with the other hand, or maybe you're just releasing your hands for now. Press through both heels and the balls of both feet. Root both thigh bones firmly down in their respective directions. And then take that left leg gently across to the right side body. You can allow it to be subtle. Keep the inner right thigh grounded down, right toes pointing up as you circumferentially root that outer left hip down towards the right heel. Soften the abdomen back and turn to the left. Extend the left arm out and shift the gaze over the left fingertips. Stretching through the fingertips as you slide the jawbone back. Have 3 deep, long breaths. And inhale back up to center. Release the foot to the mat. Shimmy out the hips. And draw the knees into the chest. Rock gently from side to side. Massage the low back. And then with an exhale, roll to the right side. Press down with your palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. My computer is so crooked, it's so funny. Okay. Looking for that same alignment that we created laying on our backs. Connecting with the shapes always from the foundation, from the ground up. It might feel good to rotate the thigh bones and move the flesh of the buttocks out. If your pelvis is still tipping backwards, sit up on a little blanket, block, pillow. We have to get that pelvis into a neutral position so we can ground down through both sits bones. And inhale, lift from the base of the spine, straight up through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. And as you exhale, soften the shoulders together, down and into the back body. And then feel what's happening in your neck. So usually we're all like here. And even when we roll our shoulders together down and into the back body, our head is still here. You want to lift your chin parallel to the earth, slide the jawbone back to stack the neck over the spine. And remember that we're lifting through the crown, but also through the tips of the ears. There's a lightness that comes into the body when everything is in alignment. The energy can move through us optimally, and we are able to project and receive. The focus of the class today, in this particular series of classes, which started at my house before quarantine, we're on the 5th chakra. The name is Vishuddha, meaning purification. The element is sound. It's associated with our capacity to speak our truth, which is very important, but also the part that being in Aries, I tend to forget about. First and foremost, it's about listening. And we have been gifted this tremendous opportunity to put our whole life on hold and to just be with like our bodies, our minds, with the amazingly gorgeous, at least here in New Orleans, spring that we've been having. Connecting back to the earth, to the cycles and seasons, to listening to what she needs from us. And then, gathering our visions and choosing our words wisely as we move forward about what kind of communities and society we would like to create once we emerge from this cocoon. Because lots of flaws in our system are being revealed to us right now. The power that we have collectively is also being revealed to us. We are the system. And if it's not working for us, we should withdraw our consent from it. So we are going to use sound, the vibrations, to clear out our energy body for a few minutes. Thank you, Baleen. She's joining us. We're just gonna Om, like again and again and again, for maybe like 3 minutes. And you don't have to wait for me. There's no one around to hear you, so you don't have to feel shy. Thinking of it more not as like having a pretty singing voice, but as like inhale, reaching down into the depths of the earth. To exhale, lean back, allow the sound to resonate through the whole body. Noticing where things get stuck and where things get constricted, because that's giving you information about where you're getting blocked. So first we'll just inhale deeply, reach up through the fingertips, And exhale completely through the mouth with sound, let go. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, stretch past your skin and fingertips. And exhale. Why does that feel so good every day of my life? 1 more time. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Good. And then we will inhale to prepare for the sound of Om. And we're just gonna keep going at our own pace. If you are on Zoom and you wanna unmute yourself so we can hear you, I would love that, but no pressure. Inhale deeply. One more time. So sitting in the silence that remains and feeling the vibrations resonate through the body. And then we'll do a pranayama to further clear out our energy channels. So you're gonna cross your right shin in front of your left shin. You're crossing the knees in close to each other. Feet poke out in the center of the calves. Weight of the top shin is massaging and breaking up the hardness in the bottom calf. Interlace your hands and bring them onto the head, palms facing up. Draw your armpits back and down. Slide your jawbone back. Lift the crown to meet the hands. We'll do Kapalibati, skull shining breath. A series of short, sharp exhales through the nose made by pumping the abdomen in and up. So first, just inhale deeply through the nose, lift and lengthen through the crown. Exhale, completely soften the shoulders together and down. Inhale to prepare. And Good, return to your normal breath. Feeling the effects of that pranayama on the energy in the body. And then with an inhale, stretch the palms up. Drop the chin to the chest and feel how that gives you leverage to draw the abdomen in and up to the spine. Stretch through the palms to stretch the back ribs, each one off the one below it. Keep all of that work as you inhale and lift the gaze. Draw the pinky fingers and the thumbs down towards your face. Feel your shoulders come away from your ears. Neutralize the head and gaze for 3 more breaths. Each inhale, hugging everything in and up to the midline of the body. Each exhale, finding some softness. Skin around the bones, shoulders, and hips to the floor. With your next exhale, release the hands and twist to the right. Ground the right fingertips behind you. Press the left hand and the right knee together. From the base of the spine, both sits bones ground down. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. And as you exhale, deepen your twist. Pressing out through the hands to get that leverage to roll the shoulder blades together down and into the spine. To broaden the collarbone fully, bring your chin in line with your sternum and slide the jawbone back. Then shift the gaze behind you. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. So before we twist or fold or do anything, we always want to find that length and space in the spine. So we're not compressing into one part of our back when we twist. With an exhale, release. Switch out the crossing of your legs. In close to the knees. Weight of that top shin bone, crushing the hardness in the bottom calf. And switch out the crossing of your fingers. So whatever feels normal and natural, take the other pinky under. Do the opposite. Bring your hands back onto the crown of the head, palms facing up. Pull the abdomen back towards the spine. Lift the crown to meet the hands. Soften the shoulders down. 1 more round of Kapalibati, skull shining breath. Inhale deeply. And good, return to your normal breath. Observing the effects of the pranayama, it generates a heat that moves the energy up through to the crown of the head. And it kind of stimulates or simulates a panic attack, which is why it's a wonderful practice to do that breath work in the safety of your practice, maintaining a calm and even mind. With an inhale, stretch your palms up. Drop the chin to the chest. Draw the low ribs down and into the back body as you stretch through the palms, stretching the intercostal muscles. Keep all of that effort and work as you inhale and gaze up. Pinkies and thumbs draw down towards the face, taking the shoulders down away from the ears. Neutralize your head and gaze. For 3 more breaths, noticing if your head is jutting forward, slide your jawbone back. Everything hugs into the midline, abdomen in, elbows in, lift up. As you exhale, find that softness in the skin, shoulders, hips towards the floor. And with an exhale, release, twist to the left. Ground the left fingertips behind you. Press the right hand and the left knee into each other. That lifting of the knee, not a gripping and pulling on the spine, but the lifting of the knee activates the foundation in the legs and sit bones. From that, inhale, lift straight up through the crown and the tips of the ears. And exhale, press out through the palms to roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. Bring your chin in line with your sternum and slide your jawbone back. As you exhale, then shift the gaze behind you. 3 more deep, long breaths. Good, and return to center. We'll make our way onto hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide and ground the knees right under the hips. Play with the rotation in your arms. We want to turn the biceps forward at the same time that we're still keeping the index knuckle mound grounded. That rotation in the arms helps to roll the shoulders back and create space in the neck and throat. If you can't feel that, then just turn your arms the other way. Turn the inner elbows in towards you and see if you can feel the effect that that has on the shoulders and neck. We're always looking to create space in the body as we move through the shapes. So biceps turn forward. Inhale, drop your abdomen down, arch your back, gaze up. Exhale, press down and curl the spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Use the breath to deepen the motions of the body. Allow this synchronicity to bring you fully and completely into the present moment. And move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of the shapes. Allowing the mind to connect with and receive the wisdom of your body. And because we are in the interweb and I can't really see you that great on my screen, it is up to you to listen to the body throughout the practice today. We begin our listening practice in the body. When you are ready, you can tuck your toes, lift your hips high, and press back, downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the feet, sway the hips. Move in any way that feels good to you for a moment here. And then find some stillness. Holding the poses without fidgeting is one of my biggest challenges. Connect with the pose from the ground up. Hands are evenly grounded with each other, feet evenly grounded, at least as wide as the hips. Outer edge of the feet turn parallel with the outer edge of the mat to rotate the thigh bone into the hip socket all the way up the leg. If your hips are tight and your low back is rounded, take a slight bend in your knees to give you leverage. Everybody inhale and lift the hips high. Create that V shape with your body. And as you exhale, press the thigh bones up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling. Feeling how that lengthens the lower back and aligns the pelvis. Let your head hang heavy for 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, float forward into your plank pose. The hips are at the height of the shoulders, and then we root our tailbone down. The low ribs and the hip bones cinch together. There's a lift from the underside of the pose. The back of the ribs lift to meet the shoulder blades, and those muscles between the shoulder blades support the neck as we extend the crown of the head forward. Have 1 more big breath. And exhale, lower knees, chest, chin to the floor. Press the tops of the feet down. And inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back. Everything on the ground, pressing firmly down into the ground to give you a leverage to lift the heart and crown. The shoulders draw together down, and again, center of the shoulder blades hug into the spine. Feel what's happening in your neck. Often we're just crunching into one part of our neck and we think we're doing it. We want to make a uniform curve, so drop the chin down a little bit and maybe slide the jawbone back. Have one more breath. And exhale, seat to heels. Child's pose. Allow the weight of the hips to settle energetically towards the heels. And from that grounding in the lower body, inhale and breathe length and space into each vertebrae in the spine. Exhale, soften more deeply into the stretch. And bring some energy into your arms. With your hands as wide as your shoulders, press down into the palms to lift the arms up. Pull from the fingertips to the center of the back of the heart, drawing the shoulders down the back, away from the ears. Turn your biceps up. Soften the outer armpits down. Keep the index knuckle mound grounded firmly. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Feeling the space in the neck and throat. The engagement in the arms and shoulders as you open. And then with an inhale, rise, hands and knees. Exhale, pause here. Next inhale, lift the right arm up. Lean into the back body to stack the shoulders, open the heart. Energy in the hands to roll the shoulders back. Exhale, tuck that right arm under the left. Widening the right hip to the right to stabilize the pelvis. Draw the abdomen back towards the spine. And then lean into the back body to stack the shoulders and open the heart. Feel what is happening in your neck here. And make any adjustments you need to make to create length and space on all sides. Have 3 breaths. And then inhale it back to center. Next, inhale, lift the left arm up. So we're pressing out through the hands to get the leverage to roll the shoulders together down and hugging even here, this bottom shoulder into the body. With an exhale, tuck the left arm under the right, widening that left hip to the left to stabilize the pelvis, lifting the abdomen towards the spine so we're not collapsing, arching the back as we twist. Then lean into the back body to stack the shoulders and open the heart. If the chin is all jammed up on the chest, slide the jawbone and the whole head back a little bit. Have 3 deep, long breaths. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, press back. Downward facing dog. So making your adjustments to find the shape. Remembering that if the hips are super tight, bending the knees will give you more access to lift the hips high and press the thigh bones back. We stretch the arms and legs in this practice for the health, space, and freedom of the spine. So we don't want to compromise the length and space in the lower back to get the heels grounded on the mat, right? We want to keep the back spacious. Press down into your hands to bring energy into the arms. Pull from the fingertips to the center of the back of the heart, making space in the neck. Take the center of the shoulder blades up and back towards your thigh bones. Have 1 more big breath. And then with an inhale, begin to walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Coming into a standing forward fold, you can feel free to bend the knees here if that feels good to you. Allow the abdomen to come towards the thighs, head heavy. Shake it out, yes. And no. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Move in any way that feels good to release tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck. Let it drain out through the crown of your head. With an inhale, return to center, and exhale through the mouth with sound. Next, inhale, begin to roll up. Pelvis spins around the femur bones. Vertebrae stack. The head and the shoulders are the last things to rise. Yay, I need to back up. Good. So we are always working from the ground up to stack the bones and joints. Start with the feet as wide as the hips and take your thigh bones back, sticking your butt out. So mostly we're all kind of feet out, hips forward, more like wide as my back hurt, right? So outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Take your booty out to take the center of the hips over the knees and ankles. And with the thigh bones back, it's a balance of these two actions. Center of the buttocks into the midline, rooting down the tailbone so you can lift the pelvic triangle. Initiating the lift of the whole torso. Palms turn to face forward to roll the shoulders back. That same rotation in the arms. When the palms face behind you, you cannot lift your arms overhead. When we turn the palms to face forward, we roll the shoulder back into the socket, and then we can inhale and reach the arms up and overhead. Interlace the hands, extend the index finger up. We are doing moon salutations. I'm sorry if you're sick of it. I cannot get enough of it right now. And it's a full moon in Libra. Exhale up and over to the right side. Continuing to press from the tailbone through the heels to lift the pelvic triangle, lift the side bodies and the sides of the neck. Have 3 deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, return to center. Feel and find the center. Notice if your hips have gone forward again. Notice if your arms and shoulders are hunching. Press down through the heels to lift straight up, and then exhale, take it up and over to the left side. Noticing the tendency for that right shoulder to come forward and the head to drop down. Roll both shoulders back. Slide the jawbone back, ears in line with the biceps. 3 breaths. And inhale to center. Exhale the hands to the heart and lift the right leg. Step it back behind you. Turn both your feet out and take a deep bend in your knees. Arms come into cactus arms or goalposts. You could even interlace the hands behind the head here. But rooting that tailbone down so we can lift through the crown. There is a reflection between the lower back curve and the curve in the neck. Have 3 more breaths. Get low. Good. And then inhale, straightening the leg. The right foot turns parallel with the back edge of the mat. Left foot turns to face forward. Does that look right? No. Widening your back hip back. Keeping the thigh bone back in line with the knee and ankle. Cut this front thigh bone back so the whole pelvis has to shift. If we're jammed up on one side, we're going to be jammed up in the neck, right? Stretching the body long as you come down into your triangle pose. You can bring your hand onto your shin. Don't collapse the knee. Press the shin back into the hand if you're using the shin. Bring your awareness to the ground and scan the body. If things are getting jammed up, that's a sign that you need to make an adjustment. The chin in line with the sternum, slide the jawbone back. Feel the neck in line with the spine, and then gaze up maybe. 3 breaths. Rolling the shoulders together down and into the back body. With an exhale, release that right hand down. Hop the right foot in slightly. We're turning the hips to face forward for Parsvottanasana, our pyramid pose. The legs hug energetically towards each other to bring them to face forward. Then both thigh bones press back, lengthening the lower back. Inhale, lift the abdomen, lengthen the crown. And exhale, fold more deeply into that straight front leg. Press down into the hands to lift the shoulders away from the ears. And notice what you're doing in your neck. We still want the neck to just extend from the rest of the spine, not to have the chin jutting forward, and not to like crunch in towards the knee, right? Finding the balance. 3 breaths. And then with an inhale, lift the chest and the gaze. Exhale, lower the back knee down. You're probably going to want to hop your back foot back. And with an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Anjaneyasana. If this feels unstable, you're also welcome to keep your hands down by your sides. Either way, that scissoring action of the legs towards each other to engage the inner thigh muscles and bring the hips to face forward. Allow the tailbone to settle. Lift the pelvic triangle. Take the whole center of the buttocks forward to open up the back hip flexor. And from that grounding, stability, steadiness of the legs, inhale, lift the torso out of the pelvic bowl. Lift your gaze. Maybe lean back. Remembering that uniform curve in the neck and not to collapse. Have 3 breaths. With an exhale, release your hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes under. Straighten both legs and begin to walk the hands to the right. Coming into a wide-legged, standing forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, fold more deeply. Outer edge of the feet are still parallel with outer edge of the mat. From the back of the knees, we're lifting up to the sits bones, lifting the lower abdomen. Let the head hang heavy. Press the hands into the floor to lift the shoulders away from the ears. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, lift the gaze. Begin to walk the hands towards the right foot. Moving through these shapes in reverse. Flip up on the ball of the left foot, lower the left knee down. With an inhale, if you did so on the other side, reach the arms up and overhead. Find that stability and alignment in the pelvis that lets you lift and lengthen through the crown and neck. So scissor the legs energetically towards each other. Root the tailbone down. Lift the frontal hip bones away from the thigh bone. Take the whole center of the buttocks forward. Inhale, lift the side bodies and sides of the neck long. Maybe you can lift your gaze and begin to lean back. Have 3 breaths. And inhale back to center. Exhale, release the hands. Tuck your back toes and straighten both legs. You're gonna have to hop your back foot in a little bit here. You're turning the foot out slightly to ground the heel. Hug the legs towards each other energetically. Again, that inner rotates the back thigh. And then press both thigh bones back. Create that length and space in your lower back. From that, inhale, lift the abdomen and the gaze. Exhale, fold more deeply over that straight front leg. And if it's not straight yet, that's okay. But lifting from the back of the knee towards the sit bone to straighten as you press from the back of the knee down through the heel. Press into the hands to roll the shoulders back. Check in with the alignment in your neck. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, lift the abdomen and the gaze. Lift the left arm up, turn the left foot out. We're coming into triangle pose a different way. If that doesn't feel good to you, feel free to come up and make your adjustments and find your pose. The front thigh bone pressing back towards the back thigh bone and that front buttock hugging into the midline of the body to lift the back hip and stack it. Breathe, lengthen space to the spine, drawing the low ribs back. Press through the palms to roll the shoulders back. Chin in line with the sternum, slide the jawbone back. Back, 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 gaze up, 3 breaths. So everything is stacking in the back body plane forever and always, all the time. With an inhale, rise. Turn the feet out slightly. Exhale, that deep bend in the knees. You can bring the hands behind the head. Press the head into the hands. Lift through the neck. 3 breaths. And inhale, rise. Left foot turns parallel with the back edge of the mat. Right foot turns forward. Inhale, step forward. Extend the arms up, interlace the fingers, index finger up. Exhale, lean up and over to the right side. Stack the bones and joints. Inhale to center and exhale up and over to the left side. Inhale to center and exhale, release the hands down. Good job. We are halfway through our moon salutations because they are a big giant circle. So we're gonna move through those poses again with slight variations and add-ons. Inhale, reach your arms up, interlace the hands, index finger up. Exhale, take it up and over to the left side. Press from the tailbone through the heels. Draw the abdomen back, lengthen the side bodies and sides of the neck. Inhale to center. Exhale it up and over to the other side. Noticing the tendency for the left shoulder to come forward. Draw both shoulders down the back. Draw the arms back and the ears back. Inhale to center. Exhale the hands to the heart and lift the left leg. Step it back behind you. Turn the feet out and deep bend in the knees. You can bring the hands onto the thighs now, giving yourself like a little bit more of a relaxing stretch. And then drop the left shoulder down and gaze to the right. Have 3 deep, long breaths. Inhale to center, drop the left shoulder or right shoulder down, gaze to the left. So even as the shoulder drops, we're still rolling it back. And we're figuring out what to do with the neck. It gazes up, but we still want length and space on all sides. With an inhale, return to center. Straighten the legs. Left foot parallel with the back edge of the mat. Right foot facing forward. Prepare for triangle pose. Keeping this back thigh bone back in line with the knee and ankle. Widening the inner thigh back as you cut the front thigh bone back. Come down, 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 long, long, long into your shape. And then bring the hand to the back of the head again. Press the head into the hand and lengthen through the neck by gently drawing on the occiput. Roll both shoulders back. You're welcome to stay here if this is useful and feels good to you, or to extend the arm and the gaze up. 3 breaths wherever you're at. And with your third exhale, drop that left hand down. Hop the back foot in slightly. Pull the legs energetically towards each other to bring the hips to face forward. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. You're welcome to exhale and fold deeply here, or to take a twist, keeping the left hand grounded inside or outside the right foot. The thigh bones press back, the abdomen lifts, and we inhale and lift the right arm up for a twist. Pressing out through the palms to roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. Chin in line with the sternum, slide the jawbone back. Then maybe lift the gaze up, 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, hop the back foot back and lower the back knee down. This time, let's take both hands inside the front foot for a pigeon prep pose stretch, not pigeon, lizard prep pose stretch. So you might just be right here and you might feel many things and want to stay here. You might want to lower onto your forearms. Either way, the back of the ribs are lifting to meet the shoulder blades, so the shoulders can roll down the back and the crown of the head can extend away from the pelvis. Wherever you're working, have 3 more deep, long breaths. Remembering that it's not about ripping your leg off, but it's about finding your edge and sitting with it. With an inhale, rise onto the palms if you haven't already. Tuck the back toes under. Straighten both legs and start to walk the hands back to the left. Coming back to that wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lift the abdomen, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold more deeply. Maybe the crown of the head can come to the floor. If so, the hands ground between the feet, fingertips facing towards your face. The wrists, the elbows are over the wrists, as wide as the shoulders, pressing down into the hands to lift the shoulders away from the ears. If headstand is part of your practice and you want to take one, please feel free. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to just really focus on aligning the arms and shoulders to make space in my neck, hugging the elbows energetically in towards each other. Wherever you are, have 3 more deep, long breaths. And inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, walk the hands to the left again. Both hands ground inside the left foot. Flip up on the ball of the back foot. Lower the back knee down. You might want to take that left foot a little bit wider to the outside of the mat. Allow yourself to settle into the hips. If you did so on the other side, lower onto the forearms. Either way, there's that lift at the back of the ribs to meet the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades can roll down the back and the neck extends forward. 3 more deep, long breaths. With an inhale, rise onto the palms if you're not already there. Take the left hand outside the left foot. Tuck the back toes to straighten both legs. Hop the back foot in slightly. Turn it out to ground the back heel down. Finding the balance and evenness in the pelvis. Simultaneously, the legs hug together and the thigh bones press back. Tailbone roots down, lower abdomen lifts. You're welcome to just inhale, lengthen the spine and fold forward here. Or inhale, lengthen the spine, keep the right hand grounded, inside or outside the left foot, and then lift the left arm up for a twist. You want to keep the balance and evenness in the pelvis. Twist from the core. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders together down and into the back. Chin in line with the sternum. Slide the jawbone back. Maybe you can gaze up. Maybe that's too much. 3 breaths. Whew. With an exhale, release. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Turn that right foot out. Find your triangle pose. I have to have my back foot back a little. Sometimes I like to come up and find it the way that I'm used to. That front thigh bone pressing back. Front buttock into the midline of the body. Stack the hips. Bring the right hand to the back of the neck. Press the head and the hand together. Chin in line with the sternum. Lengthen through the occiput. Press out through the hands to roll the shoulders back. Maybe stay here. Maybe lift the top arm up and gaze up. 3 breaths. Inhale, rise. Turn both feet out slightly and take that deep bend in your knees again. Bring the hands onto the knees and allow the pelvis to settle. With an exhale, drop the left shoulder down, gaze right. Roll the shoulders back. Slide the jawbone back. Gaze up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder down, gaze left. Roll the shoulders back. Slide the jawbone back. Gaze up. Inhale, back to center and straighten your legs. Right foot turns parallel with the back edge of the mat. Left foot turns to face forward. Inhale, step forward. Extend the arms up, interlace the hands, index finger up. Exhale, up and over to the left side. Inhale to center. Exhale, up and over to the right side. Inhale to center. Exhale, release the arms. You did it. Good. With an inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground the palms, step back to downward facing dog or to child's pose, your choice. Whatever choice you make, just taking a moment to check back in with the quality of the breath, the tension in the body, and the speed of the thoughts through the mind. And then if you're in down dog, lower onto the knees. If you're in child's pose, rise. We're gonna do a camel pose variation. So the main thing is knees as wide as the hips, tailbone rooting down, center of the buttocks into the midline. The hips stay over the knees. And for today, you're gonna take your hands palm facing down onto the lower back. So it's facilitating that lengthening of the tailbone and the hugging into the midline. Inhale, lift your sternum and lift your gaze. Exhale, elbows together as you lean back. And we're gonna just let it be subtle. So we don't need to like put our head to our feet. We need to learn to engage the muscles to support the body.
So we will start off.
What is happening? Okay.
So each breath, we are lifting the sternum, lifting the gaze. Each exhale, hugging the elbows together and leaning further back. Do not collapse into the neck here, but keep a uniform curve. Strengthen those muscles in the front of the throat. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an inhale, lead with the heart to rise. And exhale, release the arms. Sit back on the heels, between the heels, or find another comfortable seat if that doesn't feel good to you. But allow the pelvis to settle. Lean back, roll the shoulders back, stack the vertebrae. Feel the lightness that comes into the body when everything is in alignment. And have 5 deep, long breaths. And then we will come to lay on our backs. Press the back of the head and the shoulders firmly into the floor. They become your foundation here for bridge pose. The knees are bent, feet in close to the buttocks, feet facing forward as wide as the hips. Press down into the heels to lift the pelvis, the low back, the middle back. It might feel good to interlace your hands behind your back and roll the shoulders under, or just roll the palms to face up. Everything on the ground pressing firmly down to lift the heart, which is the focal point of this pose. From the heart, extend through the knees. From the heart, extend through the crown. Have 3 breaths. Keeping the chin lifted away from the chest. Length and space on all sides of the neck and throat. Once you've had 3 breaths, you can exhale and lower the pelvis to the floor. Gently sway the knees from side to side. We're going to close out with a shoulder stand practice because I just can't not do shoulder stand. Because it's so good for your immune system, also because we're on the throat. I do constantly want to give disclaimers about shoulder stand. Mainly that if you have a neck injury and you're not accustomed to practicing shoulder stand, then I would not start at home by yourself to begin. If that is the case, you can grab random shit from around your house to create a supported version of shoulder stand. Basically, you just want to get the hips elevated as much or as little as you can, piling up a bunch of semi-firm pillows and blankets by the wall will help you get the shape of shoulder stand and the inversion. So the back of the head and shoulders are grounded, legs are lifted. You can also do a very similar thing with the hips slightly elevated and the legs up on a chair. If you do want to come up into the full version of shoulder stand, you just have to make sure that you don't ever turn your head to look around at the screen or what you're doing when you are weight bearing on the neck and shoulders. If shoulder stand is part of your practice and you want to go ahead and come into it, you can. If you would like to create a restorative version for yourself, feel free. And if you would like to follow my instructions to come into it, press the back of the head and shoulders down. Commit here. Do not turn your head. Ground the fingertips by the hips or grab onto the outside edge of the mat, and you're rolling the feet up and overhead. If the feet don't touch the floor, that's fine. Just keep the knees bent and bring the hands onto the back. You want to shimmy the elbows in underneath you as much as you can so that the arms can support you. The hands walk down the back towards the floor with the fingers facing up. Pressing the back of the head and the shoulders into the mat. If your feet can touch the floor behind you in plow pose, you're welcome to stay here or to interlace the hands and roll the shoulders all the way under, and then bring the hands to the back. Extending the legs up from either starting point will bring you into a full shoulder stand. Pressing the back of the arms, the head, and the shoulders towards the floor to lift through the heels. This is not a pike pose. The center of the buttocks hugs into the midline. The bones and joints stack in the same way that we've been practicing all day. Try to have 10 deep, long breaths here. Making sure that you can talk and breathe from this shape. Whenever you are ready to come out, you're dropping the feet down behind the head, or just bending the knees into the chest, releasing the hands. Roll the spine out vertebrae by vertebrae. When the legs are perpendicular to the floor, pull the abdomen in and up to lower the legs, engaging the core. When the feet hit the floor, lift up onto the forearms for fish pose. So the forearms are grounded, the thumbs are like right behind the buttocks. Inhale, lift the sternum. And exhale, begin to slide back and lower the head to the mat. Have 5 breaths. Finding that lift from the underside of the pose. Pressing into the forearms and hugging the shoulders back. Once you've had 5 breaths, you can inhale and lift your gaze. And exhale. Soften, relax, release into Shavasana. If you were in a supported shoulder stand, you can just stay there forever and ever. It's so good for you. If there's any discomfort in the back, remembering it's always an option to bend the knees, ground the feet, and let the knees fall together. Palms rest facing up at like a 30-degree angle from the body. Return your awareness to your breath. Allow the breath to be so deep and so long that it touches down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale completely, release any residual tension, anxiety, self-doubt, or criticalness from the body with the breath. So through this practice, we are purified. We let go of the habits and patterns that don't serve us in how we sit, stand, carry ourselves, and walk through the world. But also how we speak to ourselves in our own minds. We begin to cultivate more kindness and compassion. We learn to listen. Take this moment to savor any insights you received, anything you were able to release from the body or mind through the practice today. And begin to intentionally deepen the inhales. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Gently sway the head. With an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. And exhale, roll to the right side body. Pause for a moment in fetal position. Move slowly as you transition. Press down with the palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Return the awareness to the breath and check back in. Notice the quality of your breath after your practice. Notice where in the body you're still holding tension and where some things may have shifted. Observe the speed of the thoughts through the mind in this moment. And we will seal our collective efforts with a single Om. Inhale deeply to prepare. Bring the hands to the heart and bow the head in gratitude for the tools of this practice that remind us to tune in and listen, to reconnect with the cycles and seasons so that we have the energy of the universe behind us, backing us in all the moves we make and in all we choose to create. Have a great day. Thank you guys so much. Mwah. Bye. Love you, Mom. Thanks for warning me.